The podcast has literally been, in terms of every factor, the most influential event that's happened in the history of our company in the
Yes.
past 2 years, more so than any employee, more
Yep.
so than me as a business owner. It has pointed us in the right direction because of the people we were able to talk to.
I
Because we
would hesitate to say that about pace, but it is revolutionary.
it's really big. I don't take that much credit for myself, but the podcast has made the biggest impact on our company compared to anything else that we've done, especially in the past year.
All right. So with us right now, hey, this is a client interview video where I've got two clients who we've got BJ Hamaker, Pace Ellsworth. You guys are with Bestimate, and we've had the opportunity working together for a little bit now. And so thank you so much for doing this quick video.
Yeah, no problem, Josh.
And let's start by just, high level, what do you do?
Bestimate is a business automation software company. So what we come from is a background of web development, and that we also did mobile apps. We also did just a ton of integration, AI work, and API stuff. So just moving products from desktop to cloud. What it turned into is consulting with businesses on what is racking their nerves and what is like keeping the business owner up at night and leading to like tons of burnout. So we want to end the burnout and just the stress that business owners and anyone else in a company is having with work-life balance, and just take advantage of automation. So that's what we help is we have a really scalable product we call Tech Therapy. It's our entire business model where we just start in a very scalable way, and we recommend we'll just do one task a day per person in your business with the goal of automating it so that everyone can just relax.
Now, you and us, Up My Influence, got to start working together a few months ago. And so would you mind maybe sharing? I want to ask you this question. Why did you decide to partner with us?
So it was actually really fortuitous the way the dominoes fell. Like, I was originally approached with an offer to just guest on a number of podcasts and share the brand. And yours is one of them. And what came out of that was the realization, because we'd always wanted to have a better marketing strategy. We never actually had one before. So Up My Influence gave us a marketing strategy to come up with a message that we could use to promote our service. It actually didn't start out that way. It started out with we just wanted to have somewhere where we could meet other business owners in this type of a setting, in a podcast setting, and learn from them, and then also find prospects that way that we could talk to. And it was meant to be so consultative, but what it turned into is it really helped us define our new brand, define exactly what service we were doing and what we weren't doing. And because of the conversations that we've had on the podcast, every single one of them has transformed the business in a huge way. And it's been really strange to see that happen, because we learned so much about what it is to be a successful business owner from successful business owners. Who to thunk? Like, it's so obvious in hindsight, but you won't know it until you try it.
And so for someone who is maybe looking at Up My Influence, maybe they've talked with me, maybe they're just kind of stumbled upon this page, they're watching this video and they're like, sounds good. I wonder if it works. What would you say to them?
It works. Like, because we started having all of these conversations with business owners, and literally we're scheduling another episode like every single day that we're recording new conversation, and it's going so fast. A lot of these are turning into referrals, turning into business immediately. So some of them we're just learning from, and that's something that's improved the business, not as a direct sale, but as an improvement in our process, because we're mimicking. Like, one of the most recent ones was, we just really love the way they were doing their pricing. That's what changed our pricing. Another one, we really love the way they were doing their marketing, and just their branding messaging. We changed there. So those things are delivering even more value than a referral. But that said, we got 2 sales in the past week because of the podcast.
And you just bring up something that is so valuable, and I don't think could be overstated. Is you're going to get sales. I mean, when you're talking with your dream customer and you're building relationships, sales is just kind of an inevitable outcome for a percentage of that. But it's these, like you'd mentioned, it's like when you get to network at that pace with successful A-listers, like it's like they have insights and learnings that are so valuable. And it's funny because the title of your show is Tech Therapy, but oftentimes it sounds like you've been the recipient of good value, not just from ideas, but sales, networking opportunity, introductions, all of the, and then your authority in the space also goes up. There's a lot of secondary benefits.
Well, people don't think about the therapist learning and growing, but they have to. Every single client they have is a better experience, and that helps a future client. A teacher learns more than the student, always. And so like, that's where we get the best benefit out of this.
We were talking to one of our guests has sold 40 businesses, and we were right in the middle of trying to understand the dynamic of selling businesses so that we could help our clients evaluate their businesses if they wanted to sell them. So his advice was so timely and so accurate to what we needed. Yesterday, I talked to another guest who has, over 1 million followers and an enormous content marketing strategy that he's packaged and sold to other businesses. Being able to talk to people like this, it's incredible. You can read the 7 habits of highly successful people, but if you had a 20-minute conversation with Stephen R. Covey, how much more would you get out of that than reading his entire book? You know, it's that kind of situation. So it really is changing everything we do. Every conversation we've recorded, I think over 20 of these now. I just had our production assistant assemble a list yesterday. So we're learning and growing very quickly and also helping these other people. Meanwhile, we're getting leads in that are of 10 times the quality than the people we were talking to before. People who have, people who have a $10 million business, or people who have, like I said, 1.2 million Facebook followers, or people who have 4.3 million YouTube subscribers. These are the kinds of contacts that we're making. It's incredible. And I've never seen anything like it.
Right. It's like people know that there's so much value in this. They don't know exactly what kind of value they're going to get out of doing podcast interviews, whether it's their show or somebody else's. But it's been so good, and it already is so much of a carrot that we can also offer it as an incentive for people that don't come to us through the podcast. That's something that they're going to get out of it, is a recorded episode, and they get to use that in so many different ways.
And, kind of last question, in terms of Up My Influence itself and, the team working, through the system that we've built up, and we've, just the community and everything that we've put together, is that worth the investment from your perspective?
Many times over. It's everything you say it is. We are elated every week, and it's one of our favorite things to do besides. Okay, this is lucrative, fulfilling. It's a tremendous learning experience. And I mean, it's a huge shift I couldn't have predicted on my own that has changed every piece of our business for the better.
Yeah, the thing is, you need to have a formulaic system in place. If you have to craft it yourself, or it's completely manual, it just needs to be a step-by-step process. And what you've put in place isn't just, this is what you need to do step by step. It's, here are all of the tools to do it, and here's where all of the steps can live. So any of the guests that come on, they get complete education about everything they need to do before the recording. It's just so easy that way. So that's what's great. And your team customizes a lot of it for us.
Yeah, for sure. BJ Hamaker, Pace Ellsworth. Your website, again, we put the link on the page, Bestimate, the bestimate.works, or I think there's a new domain coming. What's that?
Bestimate.tech.
Bestiment.tech. Thank you so much. Guys, thank you so much for the kind words. And it truly is a joy working with you guys. And I really appreciate you. I mean, you guys are systems and processes experts. So thank you. So your words speak very, very highly. I really, really appreciate the feedback. Thank you so much.
You got it. Thank you.
Hang on a second. Wait, appendum. Pace, can you see? They got a little bonus after. This is like the Marvel after credits scene right here. Can you say that one thing we were talking after we stopped the recording? What was that one thing you said?
You asked me. Well, we were talking about how just many things come up with this, but the podcast has literally been, in terms of every factor, the most influential event that's happened in the history of our company in the past 2 years, more so than any employee, more so than me as a business owner. It has pointed us in the right direction because of the people we were able to talk to. Because
I would hesitate to say that about Pace, but it is revolutionary.
It's really big. I don't take that much credit for myself, but the podcast has made the biggest impact on our company compared to anything else that we've done, especially in the past year.
Amazing. Thanks again, guys.
No problem.